just a few more thoughts on the moon and on man in general. If God wanted to create us as in the form of angels, He could have, and in fact, He has billions upon billions of angels. And part of the romantic aspect of life is that we do wax and wane, and we do experience highs and lows. And this is something that's ingrained in the human experience, and this is something that makes the human experience pleasurable and enjoyable. A lot of times in American society, at least I've noticed, there's this propensity to avoid the negative side of life and to not talk about it or to cover it up or to Prozac it. And it's ultimately tragic because without the negative sides, you wouldn't be able to fully appreciate the positive sides. And this is something that Judaism has never been shy about. There's many Mishnahs that talk about the human experience. There's one that says that Al karkacha tachai, that against your will you live, and if it goes on to say Al karkacha tames, against your will you die. And this idea of waning and waxing, of becoming greater and becoming diminished, this is something that God put into the very fiber of creation, and this is something that, again, should never be feared or should never be misunderstood as something unnatural. Just the opposite. There's a concept, the famous concept in Chassidus. It's called a Yerida L'Tzarech Aliyah. You go down for the sake of later coming up. So it's like if you look at if a man stands right next to a wall, he has to jump over the wall, so he won't be able to. But if he goes back many steps, runs, and then jumps over the wall, so then he'll be able to clear the wall. So an onlooker, if he just saw the man going back, he would think he's now given up, and now he's not going to, not even going to attempt the wall. But if he waits a few seconds later, you'll see that the man is now running towards the wall and springing over the wall. So something with a spring. The more you hold down a spring, you push down, down, down. When you release it, the higher it jumps up. And this is true generally with man. This constant oscillation between ups and downs is something that is ingrained in our personality, in our psyche. And it's my opinion that this is the thing that makes life so enjoyable and so magical and mysterious. We're not steady beings. We're not steady creatures that serve in perfectness. Ideally, we merit the level of a tzaddik, of a righteous. But even within the level of a tzaddik, there's many levels. There's many graduations. And it's important to know that Judaism doesn't speak to perfected beings. Judaism speaks to bodies that are enclothing souls. And while the soul is perfect, the body has a lot of refinement to do, and a lot of work to do. And this is something that, without this, we wouldn't be human beings. And so, it's just a reminder, I guess, to these viewers, that when you find yourself on the way down, which will happen to every single person inevitably, it's something to be scared of, something to be frightful from. This can happen on many levels. It could be an emotional downturn, it could be a psychological downturn, it could be a physical downturn where your physical reality seems to have gotten worse. This is all part of life, and it's these things that will help define you later on. And it's these things that make you human and make the human experience so wondrous again. So I encourage you to never shy away from the negative side of life, and you'll find ultimately that you can't really judge where you are, spiritually or otherwise, when things are going amazing in your life. Because it's easy to be a good person when everything is working out perfectly. The real challenge, and when God really sees who you are and what you are, is when He's taken something away from you, or He's created some kind of hectic, chaotic situation in your life, and it looks like there's no God, and it looks like there's nothing in your life that's positive, or worth fighting for, or worth struggling for. And it's in these moments that you find out who you truly are. And hopefully God will see you through it. And it says God helps those who help themselves. You still have to apply yourself. But eventually things do turn around. And it's in your waiting and anticipating and working towards and working through these tough times, working towards the better times, that will ultimately define you as a person. Thank you so much, and God bless.